I started off as a hairdresser. I graduated from beauty school in 1999. Never went to makeup school, just to beauty school, and I was self-taught with makeup, and I've done a lot. Without further ado, I'm going to just start going into a demo. We're going to do the JLo Glow, which is one of our signature looks at my makeup studio. If you look us up, we're heavensmakeupart.com, and since my title is a celebrity makeup artist, and if you guys Google me, that's how you'll find me, I wanted to give the everyday girl the celebrity treatment at an affordable price. So, and people come in to get their makeup done for weddings, for birthday parties, for a date night, or just going out with the girls. It's $35. I took the concept of the dry bar. Do you guys know about the dry bar? For $35, regardless of what length of hair or how thick or thin, it's $35, which is great. I was there one day while I was pregnant. My daughter's name is Heaven. She's 1 year old. And I went in to check out the dry bar. I was like, this would be genius with makeup. So I opened in May. And I've done a lot. I've been on KTLA. They just filmed. Do you guys watch VH1 Basketball Wives?
Yes.
They just filmed it at my shop on Friday. And Gloria Govan, which is one of the main girls of the show, is my client. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll be featured on Basketball Wives probably within a month when it airs. So we're really excited about that. Basically, the JLo Glow, it's a lot of contouring. So there's a lot of highlighting and bronzing, obviously. I'm going to start with concealer. You want to conceal all the areas that you want to highlight. And you want to go a shade or two lighter. There's a V shape that you want to do because it's going to give her cheekbone definition. So right now I'm just going to blend in obviously all her concealer. I'm using Youngblood. Does anybody know about Youngblood? Anybody heard of it?
No.
Youngblood is a professional line. If you guys have heard of Namies and Nigel's, you guys can get it there. Even Friends carries it, so it's a professional line. It is a vegan line, and it's made with all natural product. All natural products. It's paraben free. It's good for your skin. You can sleep in it, and it's not gonna ruin your skin. Look up. But it's really good stuff. I discovered it probably about 2 years ago when I was on a tour, and one of the makeup artists on there used it, and she swore by it, so she gave me some samples. So I'm just brushing the leftover concealer onto the top of her eyelid. I always prime the lids with concealer, not with eyeshadow base, because it sticks better. It actually conceals the entire area, so it gives me like a blank canvas to work with. And it makes the eyeshadow stick and not crease. Way better than a primer. And but professionally, where I went into, I was telling her that I started interning at Bruno and Suni's in Beverly Hills actually while I was in beauty school, and then right out of beauty school they hired me to work there, so I assisted. And while I was there, I started working, after probably about 2 years, I started working with Barbara Streisand and Priscilla Presley. And it just kind of escalated from there as far as my clientele. Alright, so you can see it's a lot lighter, and I'm going to start going into her foundation with a powder foundation versus a liquid foundation. It has really good coverage as liquid.
Did you get intimidated because you're like working with Barbara Streisand's and Priscilla Presley and?
Well, you know, working with celebrities, you're going to always come across different personalities, obviously. And I wasn't intimidated. I was more like excited. But then when I got down to actually working with them, Priscilla Presley's a doll. Barbara Streisand, not so much. So I was a little intimidated when it came to her. But then after a while, you just kind of just like, whatever.
That's what you know how you're first coming out of school and you're trying to build up your skill set and your confidence, and what is that thing that you're going to focal on, because they keep on saying focalize on something
Right.
that you do really well, so that that can carry you until you can really
I think for me in that situation it was a little different because I was assisting, so I was pretty much just applying color and shampooing, and that's pretty much what you do as an assistant. So, but applying color, you're still, you're doing a chemical service, so it gives you time to really start to master it because you start doing it over and over and over and over, and then you just get confident. Color was one of my favorites, so I think I just kind of really would focus on what they were doing, and just I was mentored by a great hairdresser, and yeah, I went from there. So I'm going to use bronzer, and I'm using, it's called Sundance from Youngblood. It has a highlight and bronzer involved in it, so it's pretty cool because I can highlight and bronze with this. So I'm going to do some contouring with this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from her ear, right in the middle, and find, can you do the fish face? And find where her definition would be so that you can give her cheekbones. I find it's very easy. So what I'm doing is like a Nike swoosh. So it's kind of like a check mark. And so you just really want it to be defined. Now, when you're doing this, it's amazing on pictures because it really gives a lot of definition. In person, you definitely will see the line if you don't blend in very well. So I haven't started to blend anything yet.
So you're using the darkest color in the bronzer?
I'm mixing both of them, but more of the dark, yeah, with just a little pop of the lighter bronzer. Turn your face all the way this way. So you eventually blend away those hook lines, but you just want to give her cheek definition. You also want to always contour. When you're doing a full face contour, you're going to hit it in these two areas right here. She has bangs, so you really won't see much of it. But if someone definitely has their hair pulled back, you want to use that. And then define the jawline as well. So you literally will just frame her jawline. And you don't want to go too hard. You just want to give it a shadow. I'm going to actually do her nose and everything just so you guys can see the different places of contouring the face, because you will definitely get people to ask, can you make my nose smaller? Get a lot of brides all the time because when you take pictures it just looks really, really prominent when you actually contour the nose. You want to use a lighter color when it comes to the nose, nothing too heavy. So I'm going to use the lighter color of the bronzer, not the darker one. And you just want to bring it down from where her brow goes and down. And then you'll eventually blend those lines away with her foundation again.
You train?
At my makeup bar, I actually have an internship program. So I have a group of girls that they learn makeup. And we do a lot of events. So there's like a lot of perks. They go on set with me. We did all the awards that just passed. So like Teen Choice Awards, MTV Music Awards, just everything that just passed we were involved in, which is really cool. So yeah, they love it. I've had my group since I've opened that's with me right now. And yeah, so yeah, I have an internship program there. I'm going to highlight down the middle of her nose with the lighter color. And you want to bring that highlight up into the forehead.
did you come up with the name?
Heaven's Makeup Art.
Uh-huh.
My daughter's name is Heaven.
So it was after your daughter was born?
Yes.
God.
I opened up the shop in May, and I came up with the name probably, actually she was maybe like 3 months when I really started looking heavily into opening up a location. And it was kind of a joke at first, like, oh, I'm just going to name it after Heaven. And I did. So I have a business partner, and her name is Karen, and Karen and I met on a tour back in 2010. And she actually lived in DC, and she called me one day just to see how me and the baby were doing, and I told her about my idea, and she loved it, and she hopped on board. Became established. So as you can see, I pretty much just blended because I'm not doing an actual eyeshadow. I'm just doing contouring so that you don't want the eye to look super bare. But when I normally do the J logo, I tend to use bronzy, taupey, browny colors with a little bit of shimmer just because it's a very natural look, but it has a lot of bronzing and highlighting in there. So right now, obviously, you can see the lines, and now we're going to start to blend away with your foundation. Blend away all the lines.
What has been your funnest job that you've worked with or been affiliated with?
My funnest job, God, I truthfully have had so many fun jobs, but probably one of my favorites. I gotta say, one of the best times in my life is when I toured with Blink-182. Travis Barker and at the time his ex-wife, Shayna Mokler, we were really good friends. And that was probably a really, really fun gig that one of the first times I went away for a long period of time. I also worked with Shakira. That was really a fun gig. She's very, very awesome. I've worked with Paula Abdul during the first 2 seasons of American Idol, which was always fun. I don't know. I can't really say I have a favorite necessarily because it's just been so many. But I guess you can say I have my favorite celebrities that I've worked with. That there's some that I prefer to work with than others.
And will the ones that are difficult, they just seek you out too?
The ones that are difficult?
Yeah, or do you just choose not to work with them?
A lot of gigs is I don't want to work with somebody in particular that just makes my day miserable. So I'll pass them up. I'll just say I'm booked or something, even if I'm not. I'm going to take a blush, which still has like a little bronzer in it. And now you're going to blend and apply your blush. And when we blush within our temples, so it's always in a C motion. Just think of Chanel, like the backward C's. So you're going to do this motion on this side, and then this one on this way. You want to kiss the apples, just have them smile for me. And what's left over on your brush, you're just going to brush it up.
Are you still using Youngblood?
Nope, this is Smashbox. I'm going to use MAC, the light fold, to highlight underneath. And you want to just bring that right on top of her cheekbone.
Do you always use powders on older skin?
No. You can do the same thing with foundations, which you want to use on older skin because powders will crease into their lines and really show wrinkles. So you don't want to use powders.
So do you use the same brand?
I use Youngblood. Youngblood is there's different foundations with Youngblood's line, but their satin foundation, which is the popular famous one, it's amazing on any skin tone and skin type. Except if you're oily, you probably want to stick with a powder unless you're older, just, look up. But the satin actually dries to powder.
So the foundations from Youngblood are oil-free?
Oh, oil-free. No, because everything in the line is a vegan line, so everything is made with like natural oils and stuff from the sea, and one thing is you got to make sure you don't have any allergies to like shellfish or anything, because they do use a lot of sea stuff. So it's something that we ask, like when you come in, there's a questionnaire, and I do have another line in case that they are allergic to to shellfish. Facial waxing, we have a dry bar, so we do dry styling, curls, updos, flat ironing, blow dries, and then I have a body waxer that rents out one of the rooms in the back, and she specializes in Brazilian waxing. So I'm going to mist her to give her a dewy look instead of a matte finish. Close your eyes. This is also from Youngblood, and it's really refreshing. The one I'm using is Recharge, so it actually helps. I tell people, if you ever hungover, put it in the fridge and spray yourself in the morning. It just gives you this crazy boost.
I need that.
But it also hydrates and recharges your skin, and then it'll give you that dewy finish as well.
It smells minty.
Yeah, this one has mint infused ginger and mint. This is actually a precision eyeliner brush, but it's a flat head, so it's not angle. And you guys can apply mascara with it because it just coats the lashes. If you don't have any extra mascara wands, it's a great brush to use for that, because it's literally just coating the eyelash. And look at that. You don't need any big lashes. It's molasses from MAC, and it's kind of like a brownish pinkish. It's actually really pretty by itself with just like a nice little sheer gloss on top. Maybe you want to keep it all in the bronze family. I've owned my other freelance company, is called Beauty to Perfection, for about 7 years. And so yeah, I did that before opening up an actual storefront. So it was a little different, but I still had 7 girls that worked for me. But it's a lot different when you actually have a storefront. A lot more goes involved. A lot more responsibility.
Tell us. What's the downfall of
It's not just so glamorous. There's all that behind the scenes stuff that's horrible. It's just opening up. It's a lot. There's a lot to do when you're first opening up, and then you know the trials of keeping it open. And they say your first 3 years of opening up a business is the most crucial. You know, we're doing very, very, very well for just opening in May. Like actually unbelievably well. When KTLA came and did a segment on me, it was about maybe a month and a half ago. They were extremely interested because of the concept just being so different. And I think that's what intrigues a lot of people when they first come in. They're just like really in awe that it's so inexpensive. The most expensive makeup service is $55, and that includes airbrush and lashes. But if you don't want that, you can get full face. Like she has no airbrush on her lashes, this would have been $35. But you know, she would have had eyeshadow and everything, the whole thing done. So yeah, it definitely works. I've also partnered up with David's Bridal, so I'm their exclusive vendor for hair and makeup, which is great because we do a lot of brides. And we have bridal parties. Yesterday we had a pamper party come in because she's getting married Friday, tomorrow. So we get a lot of that stuff done. And that's actually what Basketball Wives did. They had a pamper party for one of the girls' birthdays. So we get a lot of that. We are bar themed, so we serve complimentary champagne and wine when you come in, if you want it. Happy hour from 5 to close, where you'll get the airbrush. So the $55 service for $45.
okay, you don't have to have a license to sell alcohol if you're just doing complimentary.
We're not selling it, we're just serving it complimentary.
So that,
No liquor license.
okay, so you can just do it and,
As a, it's like if you're coming over to my house, I'm giving you a drink, same thing.
okay. So what is the whole bottle?
No, I can't do that, but I have had one celebrity do that because she was getting ready to go to red carpet and I didn't tell her no, she wasn't driving, so I just let her. Excuse me?
Right, so you just want to keep drinking and drinking. I have to close.
35. But she would have had more makeup on. If Buddha came in and got this, like she would have had full on eyeshadow, some liner, and you know, then she'd be good to go.
I'm not talking about that. No, that's
But just getting that done?
not expensive.
No, $35. She has no fake eyelashes and no airbrush, so it's $35. And for first time guests, you get free lashes. So if you came in and only wanted the $35, because normally it's a $10 upcharge if you only want lashes and no airbrush. But for first timers, they always get free lashes. It's our promo.
And you're always putting just the strip on.
I have both. I do individuals or I do the strip, depending on what you prefer. And they don't want the strip because it just looks a little too dramatic for them, so I do a lot of individuals on.
And how much do you charge for that? The same?
Yeah, it's $10. So if you came in and only wanted me to put lashes on, it's $10.
You're talking about the 3-prong or you're talking about one?
No, 3-prong, like the actual
Okay, got it.
flares. Yeah. Yeah, no, we don't do eyelash extensions there. Not yet. We have an extra room, so if someone wants to rent it, we'll do it for that. A full makeup application takes me about 30 minutes. So I'm talking obviously, so it takes a little longer, but if someone comes in and just gets their makeup done, I'll have you in and out in 30 minutes. I've done it for so long that I'm really fast, so it's really cool. All right, so that's that. So I'm gonna mist her one more time. I don't know where it went.
I didn't take it. I want to, but I didn't.
So how do you pay your makeup artists? Are they on commission?
They're on commission. It's all commission based. Thank you.
And then the interns obviously help you kind of, do you pay them or they?
No,
sell
it's an
them?
unpaid internship because they're getting classes from me. So.
Oh my God, that's
How
so
long
good.
is the intern program?
So you're-
It's depending on you. It's typically a year program, and you're not required to work every day. It's 1 day a week, and then you get 1 day of lessons. We have 4 signature looks at the shop. So when you come in, you're handed a lookbook, and the lookbook is all after celebrities. So Kim Kardashian is like one of the biggest all the time. Brides, I want to look like it's Kim Kardashian. So I was like, I have to put her in there, and she wears a smoky eye a lot. So she's our Smoky K, which is after Kim Kardashian. Then we have the J Glow, which is after Jennifer Lopez. The Retro Lamb after Gwen Stefani. Her clothing line is called Lamb. So it's the retro look. So it's basically a winged out eyeliner with a bold red lip. And then we have the Girl Next Door after Holly Madison from the Playboy Girl Next Door. And that's the more natural, everyday people that, I just want a natural look, but it's enhanced. So those are our 4 signature looks, but then you can bring in anything or tell me you want purple and green and I'll do that too. But it's just easy when people come in and reference off of the book. It's like they typically choose one of those looks anyway.